Man, I should have just called it and crashed. But here I was, 1:09 a.m., eyes burning, rain tapping soft against the window, like it was trying not to wake the house. My little desk lamp was the only light in the room, this dim, warm glow that barely reached the corners. Just enough to make the shadows feel alive. The air felt stale, like recycled breath and burnout thoughts. My coffee was long cold, sitting next to a plate with crusty-ass toast I'd made at like 9 p.m. My hoodie was bunched around my neck, socks damp from some mystery kitchen spill, back stiff from sitting hunched like a gremlin for hours. I'd been working on this damn client deck all night, tweaking text boxes and nudging arrows like I was rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. No music, no background noise, just the low hum of my laptop fan and the occasional creak of my chair when I shifted. Every so often I'd zone out and just watch the cursor blink, like full dissociation mode, until the WhatsApp group pinged and yanked me back. It was the team chat. Call now, last round before we send. Before I even opened it, I already felt that pit in my stomach. I typed back, "Guys, do we really need this call right now?" I'm tired as hell, like hoping someone, anyone, would be like, "Yeah, man, let's sleep." Instead, Brian immediately replies, "Dude, Jared and Amy have some fresh perspectives to share. Let's just hop in for the team. Hurry." Then boom, link dropped. No discussion, just pressure. I stared at it, trying to convince myself the Wi-Fi was about to cut out, or that I'd suddenly develop a fever. But that damn guilt, like, don't be the guy who bails, it got me. So I sighed, clicked in. The call launches, and there they are, all squinting into their webcams from their half-lit rooms. Jared looked like he hadn't moved since yesterday, hoodie up, leaned back like he was gaming, not working. Amy had that high-functioning burnout energy. Messy bun, chewing a straw, eyes locked on something off-screen. Brian's mic was picking up every loud crunch of chips, like he was eating directly inside the microphone. Alyssa was the only one who looked halfway put together, but even she had that glazed-over look, like her soul had long left the building. I kept my cam off, mic muted, shared the deck. Figured I'd coast in the background and make minor edits while they hashed things out. Classic late-night call vibes. People talking over each other, glitchy audio, random echo like someone was calling from a cave. Alyssa hit, "You're on mute" line at least 3 times in 10 minutes. I was barely listening, just zoning out and moving bullets around. Then Jared goes, "Rick, you there?" Unmute for a sec. I ignore it. Maybe they'll move on. 2 minutes later, Amy's like, "Rick, you still with us? Just want to hear your take on slide 5 real quick." Then Brian, mouthful, mumbles, "Come on, man, unmute." My phone buzzes, side DM from Jared, "Bro, just unmute, LOL." I exhaled and typed 1 sec into the group chat, hoping that would hold them off. Then I grumbled to myself, tapped the mic on, and clicked the camera just to stop the nagging. My face popped up in the grid looking like a half-dead raccoon, and I muttered, "All right," into the mic. Jared smirked like, "There he is," and I faked a smile, glanced back at the deck. Then it starts. First, the audio. Voices, stretching, overlapping, rubber banding in and out like someone was DJing a haunted conference call. Jared's laugh clipped off mid-sound and came back in a low, garbled loop. Amy spoke, but her lips and voice were on separate tracks, like a dubbed movie. The video stuttered, flickered, then caught up. I blinked hard, adjusted the volume, checked the Wi-Fi, thought, okay, just a glitch. Then right after, I caught myself thinking, man, just hope it crashes. Like, if the call dropped, that'd be my get out of this free card. But it didn't crash. It got worse. About 20 minutes into the call, after making one last tweak to the slide I'd been ticking off, I finally leaned back and thought, that's it, I'm done. I'm way too tired for this crap. I didn't care anymore what the rest of them thought. I just wanted to hit the sack. My eyelids felt like they had weights strapped to them, and I was ready to call it. I rolled my eyes back to the grid, opened my mouth to say, "Guys, I'm off." And that's when I saw it. A new square flickered into existence, center right just beside Jared's window, not like a normal smooth join, not with the little joined pop-up. This one stuttered, jittered, like a bad VHS frame forcing itself into the grid. 1 second, nothing. The next, this shadowy window was just there. And there was something about it, something I couldn't explain, that immediately freaked me out. I squinted. "Guys," I asked, pulse picking up, "were we expecting someone else too on this call?" Jared squinted at the screen. "What? No, it's just you, me, Amy, Brian, Alyssa. That's it." I said, "I don't see any name tag or anything. It's just a blank box." Jared replied, "I don't see any add-ons, dude. It's just us, Rick." That made it worse somehow. I leaned in closer to the screen, just to be sure. The blur sharpened. The shadow shifted. A face started to form. An old woman, way too close to her camera, like forehead almost touching the glass close. Her hair was this soaked, stringy mess of gray and white, clumped together like she'd been standing in the rain for hours. Her skin looked like waxed parchment, thin, almost blue in some spots. Her mouth, it was smiling, wide, stretched, cracked at the edges with tiny red cuts. Her teeth weren't rotten, just off. A little too dark, a little too pointy. My brain scrambled for logic. Probably some horror commercial glitching in, like one of those dumb jump scare ads. It was freaking me out, annoying as hell, so I figured I'd just exit and rejoin to kill the box, or whatever glitch that was. I dragged my mouse to the corner, clicked "Leave meeting." Nothing. Tried again. Still nothing. The button didn't even respond. And just then, all the other voices cut out. Jared's lips moved. Amy pointed at the deck. Brian chewed. But it was dead silent, except for her. And then, Jesus, her tongue came out. Slowly. Longer than it should have been. Thin and slick, curling out between her lips like she was tasting the air. Or tasting me. My chest tightened, stomach flipped. I told myself again, desperate, it's just some cheesy ad, don't freak. Just an ad. But then the thought hit like a hammer. This is Zoom. No ads, no pop-ups, no free version gimmicks. And right as that sank in, she spoke. In that low, heavy, ruptured tone that crawled into my ear. "Rick, you are mine tonight." Hearing my own name in her mouth was like ice water dumped straight down my spine. This wasn't fake. This wasn't a glitch. She knew me. She wanted me. Panic exploded out of me. My hands flew across the keyboard, pounding like some obsessed pianist. Every Mac shortcut I could remember. Command plus Q, Control plus Option plus Escape, Alt plus F4, whatever I could think of. Nothing worked. The screen stayed frozen. She was the only thing still moving. Finally, on instinct, I slammed the laptop lid shut. Hard. The hinge snapped, the desk rattled, but her laugh didn't stop. It kept going, muffled now, like it was coming from inside the machine. I froze. That wasn't possible. I held my breath, still laughing, guttural, wet, real. My hand found the power button and I pressed it, held it down, longer, longer. Then, click, the laugh cut mid-rattle. The fan died, the laptop shut down. Silence. I stared at the closed lid like it might lift back open, and for one horrible second, my brain whispered the worst thought I've ever had. What if she forced herself out of that screen and just chewed me alive right here? The idea hit so hard my forearm hair stood up like static, stomach twisting until I felt hollow. I backed away like distance would save me if she decided to crawl out. I felt like my whole body had turned to ice, stumbled back, heart punching my chest, tripped over my own chair, getting out of that room. Made it to the bathroom and just barely hit the sink before throwing up. Bitter, shaky. I leaned over the sink, scooped some water in my hands, and even that almost slipped through my trembling fingers. My reflection looked like someone else, white-faced, sweaty. Eyes wide, like I just watched someone die. I needed air. I grabbed my phone as if I were never going to return, shoved it in my pocket, and stumbled out the back door with a cigarette. Rain immediately soaking into my socks. Tried to light it. Hands shaking, wind blowing it out. I gave up. Just sat on the steps, hoodie up, knees bouncing. Phone kept buzzing in my pocket. WhatsApp blowing up. Rick, where'd you go? We're waiting. Like nothing had happened. Like the meeting was still happening. Then Jared called. I picked up on speaker. He goes, "Bro, what happened? You looked like you just watched Jason from Friday the 13th cut a guy in half. I'm serious. You were pale, man, totally zoned. We could all see you, your face freaking out like you'd seen a ghost." My throat locked. For a second, I almost told him everything. The square, her face, that voice, the laugh. But right as the words reached my tongue, I stopped. Wait, if I say this out loud, I'll sound like a complete idiot. They'll think I lost it. They'll roast me in the chat forever. So I muttered weak. I don't know, man. I think I'm sick. It just hit me. Jared chuckled. Not mean, but dismissive, like he thought I was bullshitting. My stomach turned. Why would you laugh at that? I snapped, sharper than I meant. Jared sighed. Dude, no need to lie. We've been noticing you since the call. You just don't seem interested at all, man. Get serious, Rick. This is work. Honestly, it feels like you're acting this all out just to ditch work. Like you said yourself in the group, you were tired and didn't even want to join the call in the first place. That was it. Something inside me broke. You have no idea what I'm going through, Jared, I barked, voice shaking with anger. So cut the crap and buzz off. Before he could answer, I slammed the call shut. My hands were still shaking, part rage, part fear. That night, I didn't sleep. Not really. I crawled into bed way past 3, still damp from the rain. And for the first time in years, I couldn't bring myself to turn the lights off. I usually sleep in pitch black, no problem. But not that night. The dark felt alive, like she was waiting in it. I left the lamp on, then the overhead light too, just to drown every shadow. And the silence. I couldn't take it. Every quiet second felt like it was stretching toward that laugh, that wet sound. I ended up flicking the TV on and letting some random infomercial play at full volume, just to have noise. My eyes were wide open, staring at the ceiling. I was a man half past dead a while ago, and now I couldn't even think of shutting my eyes. The second my lids lowered, I saw her tongue again, unrolling in slow motion, twitching, reaching for me. And when I blinked, her dead eyes were back, locked on mine. My chest hurt from how tight I was holding myself, like if I loosened up, she'd slide in through the dark and be standing over me. Next thing I knew, it was light outside when I finally sat up, heart still hammering, clothes still on from the night before. The fear didn't burn off with daylight, it just settled, heavier, like I'd survived something I couldn't explain but also couldn't escape. And you know the worst part? Holding it all inside, not being able to tell anyone, not my friends, not even the guys on the team, because I knew they'd never understand. The last thing I wanted was to spill my guts, only to be unheard, or worse, laughed at, to be called crazy. Later that day, still rattled and hollow, I dropped a message in the group chat. Hey team, can we request the client extend the project deadline by a week? Need a little more breathing room to get this polished. No emojis, no extra fluff, just straight business. They agreed without much pushback, probably sensing I wasn't in any shape to argue. Between me and Jared, though, the air stayed ice cold. For days, we only exchanged clipped work-related messages. Stuff like Slide 7 updated or client wants a revision. No small talk, no casual banter, just mechanical back and forth like coworkers who'd never been friends. Then, a few days later, Jared DMs me first. Hey bro, sorry I laughed. Didn't mean it that way. I stared at it for a while before replying, yeah. Sorry I snapped. Rough night. He sent a fist bump emoji, and that was it. We didn't go deep, but the air cleared. both of us pretending like it was just two tired guys freaking out at each other, not something darker boiling under my skin. I ended up taking a few days off, tried to reset. Slowly, I slipped back into something like normal, but normal had cracks now. I couldn't unsee her. Couldn't unhear that laugh. Just to kill the thought, I sold my Mac. Told myself maybe it was cursed. Maybe it was some portal she used to find me. Got a new laptop, switched to Teams for work instead of Zoom. Petty maybe, but it gave me a sliver of control. It's been a year now, and even today while working, if I get a notification or some random pop-up window on my screen, it startles me and drags me right back to that night. I'm still clueless what really happened that night. It's far from logic and sense, but I know what I saw, and now every time I open the lid of my laptop, I never do it smoothly. My hands always shake a little, like even they can sense something. Before I do.